This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Halifax housing. A new report shows prices are much higher on average than what households can afford. Informant lawsuit. A former undercover operative sues Ottawa and the RCMP for alleged abuse. And saving salmon. Students and environmentalists work together to restore a habitat in Cape Breton.
Lots of sunshine today, but a ridge of high pressure that brought us the sun is leaving. I'll let you know what to expect for the weekend.
Good evening. Halifax is becoming increasingly unaffordable for home buyers. That's according to a new report that says Nova Scotia's capital has the widest gap between house prices and what household could afford. The Office of the Parliamentary Budget Officer looked at the affordability of homes in 11 Canadian cities. The CBC's Andrew Lamb has the details.
Home prices in Halifax are on average 74% higher than what the typical household could afford. That's according to a recent report from Ottawa's fiscal watchdog. And things haven't improved since the office last did a housing price assessment 3 years ago.
Affordability doesn't seem to have, it's not better. It stayed relatively fixed or actually a bit worse than it was before.
According to the report, house prices have moderated in recent years in some of the most expensive cities like Toronto, but other markets like Halifax have seen prices continue to go up. One reason for that, this realtor says, is supply still is not matching the demand.
The government they seriously are working on reducing the red tape and the bureaucracy to streamline housing starts, but it's still not enough. We are playing catch up.
Out of the 11 Canadian cities studied by the report, Halifax has the widest gap between house prices and what the typical household could afford. Sardar says more focus needs to be put on building affordable homes.
The Canadian dream is not getting a rental. The Canadian dream is that 3-bed, 1.5 bath with a backyard.
In September, the federal government announced plans to turn part of the Shannon Park area in Dartmouth into a site for factory-built homes. It's not yet clear how many would be affordable. The Office of the Parliamentary Budget Officer also gauged how far households are stretching their finances to purchase a home, based on the share of income going toward a home loan.
If we compare to what it was in 2012, 2014, it's much worse.
Now, the typical Halifax household would spend close to 1/5 of its before-tax income on mortgage payments to be able to afford the average home, nearly double from just over a decade ago, based on a 33% down payment.
People are stretching their finance much more than they used to, right? But if you compare to other regions in Canada, it's not great, but it's not as bad as it was in other parts of the country.
According to the Nova Scotia Association of Realtors, for the first 3 quarters of the year, homes in Halifax Dartmouth sold for more than $600,000 on average. That's up nearly 4% from last year. Andrew Lamb, CBC News, Halifax.
A former undercover police informant who worked here in the Maritimes is suing the RCMP and the federal government. Paul Derry says police failed to protect him when they asked him to infiltrate a child sex ring in Moncton. He was just 17 at the time. Blair Rhodes reports.
Evidence that Paul Derry collected in his work as an undercover agent in both Nova Scotia and New Brunswick led to dozens of convictions, including against Hells Angels hitmen. The work also landed him in the Witness Protection Program, where he was protected until 2010. He says he still needs protection from some of the people he helped put in jail. So he was surprised when government lawyers proposed that his lawsuit be transferred from federal court, where it was filed, to New Brunswick Provincial Court in Moncton.
2019, it was deemed a threat area to me by the RCMP. And now they're asking me to go back there. It's quite obvious that I testified against the Hells Angels in Halifax, 2 hours away. They know that I did most of my work in Moncton. I did it for them. So why they would ever think that New Brunswick is the right venue when the federal court could do it? That's a legal thing. I don't get it, but it seems crazy. It seems kind of ludicrous to me. Anytime I went to the Maritimes, I was delivered into the hands of an ERT team, emergency response team members at the very least. If we didn't have obviously the whole team would have been in and around court hearings, but I still was always protected. So I don't know. I mean, are they going to fly protection for me every time I have to go down and look at discovery documents and all that kind of stuff and all the other stuff that comes with all the legal wrangling that goes on.
While his lawsuit is asking for damages, he says it's not about the money.
I understand the legal system enough to know that it never really gets you money and it really drains you a lot. But I do think, my psychologist asked me, do you think the principal is worth the cost? And it was one of the deciding factors. I came to the conclusion that yes, the principal is worth the cost.
These days, when he's not waging a court battle, Derry is a consultant on police issues. The RCMP declined to comment on this case because the matter is now before the courts. Blair Rhodes, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia's highest court has reserved its decision in the latest appeal by convicted killer William Sanderson. He asked the Court of Appeal to either stay the murder charge against him or reduce the sentence he's already serving. Sanderson appeared by video from a Quebec prison to make his arguments. He's serving a life sentence in the killing of Taylor Sampson in August of 2015 in Sanderson's Halifax apartment. Sanderson says there were serious flaws in the Crown's case. He focused on the work of a private detective who alerted police that 2 key witnesses had changed their stories. The Crown admitted the detective should not have done that, but the Crown also argued the error should not be enough to overturn the murder conviction. As Nova Scotia's offshore wind ambitions have grown, so have concerns from the fishing industry. A delegation of fishing groups recently traveled to Scotland to see how offshore wind has impacted Scottish fisheries. The head of the Brazil Rock Lobster Association says he was concerned by what he saw.
Loss of access to fishing grounds during the construction phase and the production phase. They can't fish near them. They can't go near them. They did lose their fishing gear, that be it fixed gear or mobile gear for ground fish and stuff like that. They can't go near them, and they've lost access to their wharfs, and they've lost fishing jobs. We need to slow down. We need to do this right. Why would we risk an industry that has fed us for hundreds of years for the sake of a technology that could be obsolete in 10 or 15 years?
The province's energy department says it is working with fishers to address their concerns about offshore wind, but it is confident that the two industries can successfully coexist. And Tina Simpkin is here with a first look at the weather and a very chilly start to the day.
It really was. Most of the temperatures are near or even below freezing across the region, and we had nice recovery this afternoon with the help of some sunshine. Now, we did see more clouds in the Cape Breton skies throughout the day today, but we eventually did break out into some sunshine as well. Right now, the temperatures, in fact, the high temperatures wound up into the mid-teens, and the winds, well, they did subside throughout the day, courtesy of a ridge of high pressure that came in from the south and west, and it is sliding its way off towards the east, which means that as we head into the overnight hours, our winds are going to come around from the southwest, and that's going to increase. The winds are going to increase, but it's also going to increase our temperatures as we begin this holiday weekend. Overnight tonight, though, skies are going to stay fairly clear, and the winds do subside somewhat before they start to pick up from the southwest. So it's going to be another cool start to our Saturday, but we're going to recover quite nicely with temperatures into the mid to upper teens. Now, it's not going to stay that way all weekend long. We do have some changes, and we'll talk about the extended forecast coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Tina. Well, some historic sites here on the East Coast are reporting a concerning trend. Lately, someone's been trying to dig up artifacts under the cover of night. It's damaging history, and the culprit is risking big fines. The CBC's Shayna Luck has that story.
Look at this. What do you think it is?
There's no thrill like the beep of a metal detector for hobbyist Robin Perry of Winnipeg. He's been detecting for more than 6 years, even helping people recover cherished lost valuables.
That's the stuff I love. I love that treasure hunting kind of idea.
For him, historic sites are strictly off limits. But in the last few weeks, someone's been raiding 2 historic sites on either side of the New Brunswick-Nova Scotia border, seemingly digging for artifacts. Staff have found at least 150 holes, sometimes as many as 30 new holes in one night.
We have been able to determine that the activity is happening in the dead of night, and in the case of us, that's probably not with the best of intentions.
This historic site in Fairyland, Newfoundland suffered a brazen dig right through its cobblestone yard this summer. Nothing like it has happened in 30 years.
But now people are actually, for the first time ever, coming in and actually destroying those features to find a little, I don't know, buckle or part of a coin or who knows what.
Archaeologists say removing artifacts messes with a place of shared history, and other detectorists have a bad name for it.
Night hawks, those are the people that go in, in the cover of darkness and dig up places and, leave the holes.
Parks Canada says they haven't seen this issue widely across the country, but archaeologists say it does happen every now and then. And anyone who's caught doing it on a National Historic Site like this one could face a big fine, up to $25,000. Shane Lux, CBC News, Halifax.
Canada Post says it will end a nationwide strike this weekend and move to rotating strikes instead. The change, which will take effect at 6 a.m. on Saturday, and will get packages and letters moving in the mail again. The union says it's still seeking better terms in its next contract. In recent negotiations, Canada Post removed a signing bonus it had been offering union members. Ottawa has announced plans to restructure the Crown Corporation, which is on track to cost the government $1.5 billion to run this year. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers declared the countrywide strike in September, hours after the federal government announced restructuring changes, including an end to door-to-door mail delivery. The latest data from StatsCan shows the Canadian economy added 60,000 jobs in September, beating expectations. 106,000 full-time jobs were added. 28,000 jobs were added to the manufacturing sector, marking the industry's first gains since January. Increases were also concentrated in Ontario and Alberta. The unemployment rate remained unchanged from August. The jobless rate for young people aged 15 to 24 hit a 15-year high outside of the pandemic years. A group of students and environmentalists are working together to restore a salmon habitat in Cape Breton. And they're doing it by changing the way the river flows with logs and rocks. Anna Rack explains.
At almost 28 meters long, altogether, these 4 logs cut across the Clybourne River in the Highlands National Park. They were placed here by Parks Canada and the Atlantic Coastal Action Program. The logs create pools downstream for young salmon to live in. The water level has been low, which makes it hard for salmon to thrive. But the pools created by the logs are the perfect habitat.
Places like this, like the Clybourne River, it's so wild and it's so beautiful. And to have salmon in here the size that there is, when salmon are really a breath away from being lost forever, it's really special. And I think that we can certainly do our part to raise our standards.
The water pouring over the log digs out the riverbed downstream over time. It also helps introduce oxygen to the water by creating bubbles.
This project is to try to create as much high-quality habitat for them as we possibly can, especially in light of the difficult conditions that we've been experiencing this year with the drought. We want to make sure that the river is robust in the face of the impacts of climate change and that our project will proceed as unhindered as it possibly can, given the challenges that we face.
The logs themselves came from PEI. They fell during a hurricane and were taken here by Parks Canada. A class of NSCC students are helping with the project by piling rocks on one side of the logs. The rocks help guide the water to the other side of the river, forcing more water flow in one area to create a deeper area for salmon to live in.
I know a lot of people rely on the salmon, fish, eat. It used to be so much and now it's so little that we kind of have to do our part to at least try to help it come back.
While logs like these have been placed in rivers in the CBRM before, this is the longest one placed by Atlantic Coastal Action Program and Parks Canada. Anna Rack, CBC News, Ingonish Centre.
Souls Harbor rescue missions across the province will host a free Thanksgiving meal this weekend for more than 1,000 residents in need. The charity group began its annual free Thanksgiving dinner for families 14 years ago. Souls Harbor says since then, the number of meals they serve on Thanksgiving has gone up almost 300%. Anyone who identifies as being in need of food on Thanksgiving is welcome to attend. Souls Harbor operates in Halifax, Bridgewater, Truro, Lower Sackville, the Eastern Shore, and Sydney Mines in Cape Breton. The leaves are popping in Carney Lake. Tina's up next with the full weather forecast. Stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
And we've got Tina back with her full forecast. A long weekend here. It sounds pretty good.
It does. It does. You know, our temperatures have been a little bit cooler than what we experienced at the beginning of part of the week. And this morning, it certainly was chilly.
Fallish, definitely.
Yeah, even some frost everywhere. And I can't rule out some frost tonight, especially away from the coast. And I think that's possible. But our temperatures wound up pretty nice this afternoon. In fact, most of the temperatures were in the mid-teens. Now we're starting to cool back just a little bit. Had some problems getting rid of the cloud cover in Cape Breton. Even had some scattered showers throughout the day, and they lingered a little bit later into the afternoon, but for the most part starting to clear up here as well. So skies are pretty clear. The further west you are in the province, the more sunshine you saw throughout the day, courtesy of a ridge of high pressure that's building in from the west, and it is traveling off towards the east. So this ridge is really going to have a lot to do with the clear skies that we've seen today and the clear skies that we're going to see pretty much tonight. And then tomorrow, it looks like much of the same, lots of clearing skies. But because of those clear skies tonight, the winds temporarily subside, I should say, and then they start to pick up as we head into the overnight hours and then early tomorrow morning from the southwest. So it'll be a different wind direction for tonight and into tomorrow, and that's going to allow for the temperatures to get a little bit warmer than what we saw today. So again, still some cloud cover over Cape Breton. That ridge of high pressure is working on it, but the showers that we saw earlier today have tapered off. And overnight tonight, temperatures dropping down to around 3 for Sydney as well as Halifax and Truro. It seems to be a very popular number, but as the winds return from the southwest, it's going to keep the temperatures a little bit warmer along the coast, say from Digby to Yarmouth, even into Shelburne, with their southwesterly winds, 20 gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour. For tomorrow, this ridge of high pressure that's been parked just down to the south will slowly slide off towards the east, but again, as it moves off towards the east, those winds will come around from the southwest, and that'll warm things up a little bit. It's going to be breezy tomorrow, but the temperatures will be a little bit warmer. Still keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Jerry. Was expected to become a hurricane today, but it's really holding on to tropical storm status. It looks like it's going to take a turn off towards the northeast and then head off towards the east. And it doesn't look like it's going to bring us any moisture here. One could hope. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Still, the models are not in agreement with where Jerry's going to go, but we'll keep an eye on Jerry as we go through the weekend. And if it does come anywhere near the Maritimes, it won't be until later in the week, next week. In the meantime, as we go through the night, we'll see those winds coming around out of the southwest. Temperatures will drop near freezing, and then we'll start to see some cloud cover return by Sunday, courtesy of an area of low pressure that's spinning well off to our south right now, but we'll be tracking up the eastern seaboard. I don't know that it's going to get close enough to bring us some rain. One could hope, but it looks like it will stay at least the main energy off the coast of Nova Scotia. But should that change, our rain chances will go up, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday. So for tomorrow, it looks pretty nice. Lots of sunshine to be had. The winds picking up out of the southwest, 20 gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour. That will keep temperatures slightly cooler along areas of the coast where those southwesterly winds hit directly on the shoreline. 17 degrees the high tomorrow in Sydney, a little bit warmer in Port Hawkesbury, around 18. 18 for New Glasgow as well as Antigonish. Looks like Halifax will see 18 as well. Winds are a little bit cooler off to the north in Amherst, temperatures holding into the mid-teens, and that's going to be the case. And now, we could be seeing those southwesterly winds keep a cap on the temperatures around 16 to 15 degrees along areas of the South Shore, but you don't have to move too far inland before you'll find those temperatures into the mid-teens. Now, those mid-teen temperatures are not going to last too much longer. On Sunday, the clouds return and the winds come from a different direction. Tomorrow they will be southwesterly. On Sunday they'll be more of a northeasterly to easterly wind, and that's going to be the case into Thanksgiving as well. So the temperatures, as far as the daytime highs, are going to come down each and every day as we head towards next week. Thanksgiving still looks pretty pleasant with a high of around 13 degrees, and that's where our daytime highs should almost be for this time of year. Now, keep an eye on that system, because right now it just looks like chances for showers both Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as that system comes in from the southwest. But we're hopeful, and hopefully we'll keep tracking that system. And of course, anything that happens in the tropics could affect our rain chances as we head towards next week. But certainly the temperatures will be coming down as far as the daytime highs. Amy.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Tina. A project on PEI that looked at injecting manure instead of spraying it found benefits for the environment and happier neighbors. The first summer of testing showed a dramatic drop in greenhouse gas emissions, healthier soil, and less smell. The CBC's Nancy Russell reports.
This PEI dairy farm has been testing out a new way of spreading manure, injecting it directly into the soil instead of spraying it, the way it has traditionally been done. These researchers have been comparing the results, including the greenhouse gas emissions. And so far, they say, the results have been impressive.
We were able to see a 35% reduction in nitrous oxide losses using the injection method compared to the conventional broadcast, which is significant.
Smith says a reduction in the gases being released means the nitrogen is staying in the soil, and the manure can do its work more effectively.
If you can save your nitrogen from your manure, you don't otherwise have to supplement with inorganic fertilizers.
They milk about 65 cows a day here at Red Oak Farms. The manure from the cows is a steady source of free fertilizer, which they are now injecting into the field.
We're getting it right down into the soil where the roots of the next crop will be to soak up those nutrients. And another benefit we've noticed is less odor from the manure, which again, the neighbors like that too, I think.
The manure injection can also save money.
Especially in a time when fertilizer costs are extremely volatile. There's a lot of geopolitical factors that are sort of shaking that market from year to year.
There's another PEI farm that is part of this project, looking at something called a dribble bar to apply manure. This equipment for injecting manure cost about $120,000, with some funding from the On-Farm Climate Action Fund.
It's a great system that is definitely demonstrating clear benefits in terms of our emissions loss, but also in terms of potential nutrient savings, reducing the amount of fertilizer we're using.
Trying to get a beneficial management practice that all farmers can use, anybody that's applying manure.
Smith says the research team hopes to be back on the farm next year to get a better understanding of the impacts of applying manure in new ways for the soil and for the environment. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Oyster Bed Bridge.
Coming up, the Nova Scotia SPCA is seeing a major increase in the number of seized and surrendered animals. The Nova Scotia SPCA has seen a spike in the number of seized and surrendered animals in their care. And for more on this, I'm joined by Chief Inspector Kevin Struband. So talk to me about the situation at the moment.
So we've had probably a 95% increase over last year in the number of animals that have been surrendered to the SPCA and seized in unfortunate situations where we found multiple animals in distress.
What kind of numbers are we talking about?
We've had seizures of almost 30 animals, and people surrendering 20 at a time. Unfortunately, people are getting into situations where they have too many animals to care for, and sometimes they don't know where to turn, but we're here to help those people. And in other situations, we just have to come in and take the animals away because it's the best thing for them.
And what are the conditions that you find them living in?
Most of them are lacking some form of care. It might be food, water, shelter, veterinary care, medical attention, could be grooming. So it's quite a plethora of reasons. And some people don't even know that their animals are in distress. Generally, you can tell, but animals mask it very well. So when we come in, we look for specific signs. But some might have parasites and blood-borne diseases that people might not be aware of.
And how do people end up in these situations with all of these animals?
Some people, they want to help all the animals they can, and then they get overwhelmed. And that's what we don't want to have happen, because it's difficult for the people, but it's also very difficult for the animals, and it's hard on their systems. Some animals may lose their lives because of the conditions they are in.
And how do you hear about these cases?
Generally, the public is calling us. It's not something we're just happening across. The public will call us and say they see something that just doesn't seem right, and then we send our officers to investigate.
And how are the animals doing now?
They're doing remarkably well. Some of them still have challenges that are going to be ongoing for a while. A lot of them need dentals, and those will happen in time. But it's not easy for them, but the staff are amazing. They're doing wonderful work. But it's not cheap work. We're looking at over $100,000, almost $150,000 to care for these animals, just the ones that we're talking about.
And what kind of efforts are you doing to raise this money to care for them?
We're reaching out to the public because that's where our base of donors is, and that's who can really help support the work that we do. And it truly is life-saving work.
I understand the Canada Post strike has also had another wrinkle in this situation.
It does. It's actually going to make us lose more than $10,000 in donations of people that normally mail them in. So we're encouraging people to come to our shelters or to donate online to support the important work we do.
In the meantime, are the animals able to be adopted out, or if these are ongoing cases, do you have to wait until they're over?
So some of them are currently being investigated from a cruelty standpoint, and those animals will have to stay with us for a time. And especially if they're convalescing here, once they're better, we hope to put them all up for adoption.
And what animals are you taking in? Are they dogs, cats, or other ones as well?
Generally just the companion animals, so dogs and cats with a few rabbits, some other pocket pets that might come in. But most of the time it's dogs and a number of cats as well.
Well, what do you say to people who might be overwhelmed, as you say, trying to help as many animals as they can, but that in the end, it's not good for the animals themselves?
That's right. They really need to recognize that what they're doing is not helping the animals, and they need to do better for the animals. Call the SPCA. If you're in over your head and you need help, call us and we will work with you to do what we can to make sure that the animals' lives are better.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, Israel pulls back troops and displaced Palestinians return to North Gaza as the first phase of the peace plan comes into effect. And the White House slams the Nobel Committee for not giving this year's Peace Prize to U.S. President Donald Trump. Welcome back. The ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas took effect on Friday. Israel has partially withdrawn troops from parts of Gaza, and tens of thousands of Palestinians displaced by the war are starting to return to the northern part of the enclave. The CBC's Briar Stewart is tracking the latest developments from Jerusalem.
These are the first hours of a very fragile ceasefire. It began when Israel moved its troops back in Gaza, moving to a withdrawal line. Israel still controls about 53% of the area, but by moving further back, thousands of Palestinians are now able to head north back into rubble-strewn neighborhoods. Many walked very long distances, carrying whatever belongings they had. Now, after the ceasefire went into effect at noon today, that means that there was a 72-hour window for the hostages to be released. There are 48 hostages. Israel believes that 20 of them are alive. They need to be released by Hamas by noon on Monday, and that after that point, that's when the Palestinian prisoners will be released. There are 2,000 of them, and of that group, 250 of them have been serving life sentences in Israel. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump is expected to come to Israel on Monday and to address the parliament. After that, he's expected to go to Egypt and meet with other world leaders about the future of Gaza. And there is a lot of uncertainty. I mean, this whole deal is kind of based on the 20-point peace plan that Trump unveiled last month, but it's very vague. There's ambiguous language, and there's a lot of details that aren't clear about, who's going to govern Gaza. And of course, the other major issue is the humanitarian situation in Gaza. It's dire, and part of this deal is supposed to bring 600 aid trucks into the area every day.
Trucks are there. We can load them up, and just send them across. Now, of course, convoys are subject to all types of threats. At least now, we're not going to see the rate of attacks on convoys from the sky, from airstrikes, and we hope the looting will be reduced. But it's very frustrating, and we need to bring that aid in, and we need to bring it right now.
Now, Israel hasn't yet opened the gates for all of this aid to move in, but there are reports that that's expected to happen on Sunday. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Jerusalem.
At least 19 people are dead following an explosion at a military munitions plant in Tennessee. Emergency crews rushed to the scene but had to keep their distance because of secondary blasts. That's the sound of one of the blasts captured by a home security camera. The explosion could be heard and felt miles away from the site. The plant produces and tests explosives in the hills near Bucksnort, about 100 kilometers southwest of Nashville. Officials will investigate the incident, but they say it could take days to determine the cause of the blast. The local mayor described the explosion as a tragedy for his community. Donald Trump had been campaigning for the Nobel Peace Prize for months, but it's gone to Venezuela's pro-democracy activist Maria Corina Machado. The Norwegian Nobel Committee made the announcement on Friday. Machado, a leading opposition figure, has been speaking out against the ruling party for years. The CBC's Paul Hunter has more.
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 goes to a brave and committed champion of peace.
The big announcement from Norway.
To Maria Corina Machado.
Maria Machado, the hugely popular opposition leader in Venezuela, who for years has been fighting for greater freedom in that country, taking on the government of President Nicolas Maduro, who has long forcefully cracked down on dissent and his opponents.
And I'm calling to inform you.
In a phone call just before the official announcement, Machado was given the heads up she'd won.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I have no words. Thank you so much.
In hiding, somewhere in Venezuela, Machado said the prize is recognition of the broader push for democracy in that country.
This is an achievement of a whole society.
But though the spotlight is now on Machado, so too is attention on someone who did not win the prize, U.S. President Donald Trump.
And I called him, I said, let's end the war.
Who in recent weeks and months had publicly, strongly hinted he certainly thinks he deserves it.
I stopped wars from happening. If it were somebody else, they would have gotten 5 Nobel Prizes. I never even got a mention.
And in now officially not winning the prize, it's clear that some in the White House are not exactly thrilled at that. In a post on X today, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung wrote, "The Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace." Worth noting, Trump himself is a supporter of Machado and her efforts to unseat Maduro. On that, Machado gave Trump a direct shout-out, posting, "I dedicate this prize to the suffering people of Venezuela and to President Trump for his decisive support of our cause." Machado added she's counting on Trump in her push for Venezuelan democracy, the suggestion being they need help from the guy who didn't win. Paul Hunter, CBC News, London.
A fifth estate investigation into a massive data breach involving thousands of healthcare workers in BC has revealed senior officials at the agency had been warned for years about the breach, but failed to act to protect their workers. And now there are growing calls on the BC government to launch an investigation into the breach. Fifth Estate co-host Mark Kelly has more.
My name is Andrea Harris.
My name's David Lucas.
My name is Chandra Howard.
These are the faces of BC's interior health data breach, all victims of identity theft. What happened to them may happen to you if it hasn't already.
My neighbor right down there, she found out just a week ago or so that she was the victim of identity theft.
Nurse Ashley Stone is one of many healthcare workers just in her neighborhood whose identity was used by cyber criminals to take out credit cards and run up whopping bills. She's convinced she knows where her imposters got her personal information.
In 2014, did you believe that the source of the information breach was your employer, Interior Health?
100%.
Why were you so convinced?
Because I haven't given my information out to anybody else.
But for more than a decade, Interior Health has denied responsibility for the breach. It's told employees there was no evidence of a mass breach, no evidence their personal information was for sale on the dark web. And then we got a break in our investigation. An anonymous source sent us a list with 28,000 names who all appear to be Interior Health employees. Names, birth dates, social insurance numbers. A list the source says he bought years ago through the dark web. This information has been sold and distributed to thousands of people over the past 5 to 6 years, the source told us. But Interior Health's decade of denials has left a long trail of victims, from Ashley Stone in 2014 to Andrea Harris, whose identity was stolen again just this summer. This former Ontario Privacy Commissioner says the BC government needs to launch an investigation into the breach.
This is why you have to go to the Minister of Health and the Premier. You have to be truthful about this. We have to discontinue this activity of covering up.
BC's Privacy Commissioner says he won't investigate the breach. BC's Health Minister won't even comment on it, citing an ongoing RCMP investigation, leaving the victims on their own to fight their fraudsters. Mark Kelly, CBC News, Kelowna.
A new study has found more screen time for young kids under 8 years of age is linked to lower reading and math scores. Researchers in Ontario followed kids for more than a decade. They say their findings underscore the need for early intervention to support healthy screen habits. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson reports.
Mom of 3 school-age children, Ann Whitmore, says their family has strict limits on screen time, but she admits it's not always easy.
How do we get them ready for a digital world, but also balance the need for having a broader perspective and having those other skills of critical thinking and social emotional intelligence.
A new study from Sick Kids published in the Journal of the American Medical Association suggests there's something else at stake with kids using iPads, video games, and TV. Performance on standardized testing. The study was conducted between 2008 and 2023 in Ontario. It followed more than 3,000 grade 3 children and more than 2,000 grade 6 children, the grades when the province's mandated exams happen.
So for each additional hour of screen use, there was approximately a 10% lower odds of meeting standards in both reading and mathematics in grade 3 and mathematics in grade 6.
There are limitations. It was observational, meaning based on parents' reports of their children's screen use. Still, its large sample size makes it a powerful addition to the growing body of evidence on how excessive screen time impacts kids.
As kids spend more time on screens, and also it really depends too on what they're doing on these screens, whether it's playing video games or scrolling short form video. But all of this trains our attention in particular ways that may make it harder to focus for long periods of time.
The study author says the goal of research was to instigate change on all levels, not to shame parents.
So what can parents do? What can clinicians do? What can we do in our schools?
I think education for parents around how do we be thought leaders in this? How do we provide guidance?
A reminder of the risks as parents and schools alike grapple to raise a generation that needs to be digitally savvy. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
It's an animal closely tied to the origins of Canada itself. The beaver is so common, you probably think you know everything there is to know about it. But what about the white beaver? The CBC's Stu Mills got a rare sighting out of the blue. He was contacted by his old pal, photographer Dennis Jackson.
After 10 years of not talking, I found myself here. The photographer had written to say he'd seen a rare white beaver and wondered if I might think it was worth a story. Jackson suggested we bring along an expert, and that's how the famed naturalist and Carleton University professor Michael Runts ended up on board with us.
Beautiful evening.
The wildlife expert and author warned us it wasn't the sight of us or the noise we might make as much as the way we smelled that most hurt our chances of seeing the animal.
And when they're on land, they're always having their heads up and smelling the air for danger.
There were plenty of beavers to see, but the white one was being shy. Would the white beaver make an appearance?
I think that often is done if there's a family, if there's young ones. Oh, there's the beaver. There he is.
There it was, and there it goes. With a slap, it had disappeared.
I'm surprised.
We worried it would be gone for good until it reappeared, somehow unafraid of us. To understand just how rare a white beaver is and why its fur is that color, I came to the Canadian Museum of Nature. This expert on Canadian mammals says it's not an albino beaver, but a beaver with leucism, a genetic condition that causes a loss of pigmentation, and the museum has a sample in its collection.
It's right here.
A pelt collected more than 100 years ago from northwestern Ontario. Millions of beavers were trapped in Canada during the fur trade. Dominique Fautus says a tiny fraction would have been born white, and of those, few would have survived, sticking out like a sore thumb.
A leucistic beaver could become more vulnerable for sure.
All in all, then, a rare white example of a Canadian icon and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Stu Mills, CBC News, Ottawa.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Canada's main stock index finished more than 400 points lower on Friday, weighed down by losses in the technology sector, while U.S. markets also fell. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, we're back to wrap things up, and Saturday sounds like just a perfect fall day.
I think so. Our temperatures are going to be warming up. Today wasn't too bad once the sun came out,
once
nice
it came
and
up.
bright, but it came up because it was really cold this morning. In fact, in a lot of areas, temperatures dropping just below freezing. I had frost.
Yeah.
It's
that time of year.
It is that time of year. Well, we do have a couple things going on. We've got a ridge of high pressure that's been dominating our weather for the most part, although the clouds have been fairly thick across Cape Breton throughout the day today. And I'll show you some of the cloud cover that has been plaguing, if you will, Cape Breton, although we did start to break out into some sunshine the later we got into the afternoon, and that allowed for the temperatures to warm up. Now, speaking of temperatures, we've got a ridge of high pressure that's building down to our south and west. And because of this, our winds are going to come around from the southwest starting overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. And they'll be a little bit breezy, 20 gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour, especially along areas of the coast where the winds blow directly on the shoreline. But because of those southwesterly winds, our temperatures are going to climb back up into the mid-teens for highs, around 17 degrees, a little bit cooler along the coast and a little bit warmer inland. And as we go through the day on Sunday, that's when things begin to change. That ridge of high pressure that's kept us clear and quiet for today, tonight, and tomorrow will push on out, and an area of low pressure will be approaching from the southwest. So the cloud cover will be on the increase during the day on Sunday. So not as much sunshine, and the winds will start coming around out of the north to northeast. Not a high wind, but enough to take a little bit of the temperatures down, just slicing it off by a couple of degrees. Overnight tonight, our temperatures are going to be cool once again. The winds have dropped off at least temporarily, but they'll start to pick up towards sunrise. So along the coast, 3 to 5 degrees, a little bit warmer along the south shore, and a little bit cooler in those low-lying areas away from the coast. So here we go into the holiday weekend. Temperatures holding in the mid-teens both Saturday and Sunday, and then the temperatures starting to come down on Thanksgiving Day. And we do have chances for showers as we head Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Friday. It looks actually the better chances of the 4 days.
All right. Well, sounds good. So finally tonight, the woman behind the famous mile-high lemon meringue pie is hanging up her spatula. After 50 years with New Glasgow Lobster Suppers, Joan Blanchard is retiring.
And our colleagues in PEI stopped by to the kitchen to watch her whip up some of her last desserts.
Hi, my name is Joan Blanchard. I'm working here for 50 years at New Glasgow Lobster Suppers, and I'm the pie maker. When I first started here, I was on the dishwasher for a few months. And then the manager came out and he asked if I would come out and help on the pies. So I did. And it just all started from there. And I've been at it ever since. I cook my shells. I make the shells all the day before. And I come in, cook the shells. And then I make the fillings. And then after that, I do my meringue and the fruit pies.
How high does this meringue actually get? We say mile-high pie. How high does it get?
Not quite as high as this, but anyway, probably, I'd say 6-7 inches high.
Just how many are you getting ready for today? And people often comment that it's the highlight of their visit to PEI, having that traditional mile-high lemon meringue pie. Plus, she's really good at making all of the pies here. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing that we have her working for us for the last 50 years. During COVID, when we were taking reservations, we had one family book, and the lady said her 27-year-old son still talks about being 12 and able to have more than one dessert. So obviously he liked Joni's desserts, and he was coming back with his kids.
To me, it's just a pie, right? But people seem to make a big issue about it, and they like it. And, well, I put a lot of pride in my work. Well, I try to do my best every day. Like I try to be happy when at the end. I'm hoping to be happy of my work, that everything went good. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sore, so that's why I decided 50 years was enough.
What do you love most about what you do with making the pies?
I guess from looking at the guest book, all the compliments I get and so on, it makes me feel happy. They're happy and I'm happy.
Made with love. That is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.